Hey, good afternoon. Kathy Beatty here with Divorce Support Anonymous, coming to you on how to have a breakthrough Christmas. Thank you for those who have been joining me faithfully, coming live, and the many of you who come afterward. I love it. I love to see the numbers rise because it's my prayer that it is giving you hope, that it is giving you something to think about. And today, I hope, is no exception. On day number 8, here we are, December 8th. So I want to begin by asking the question, what is a breakthrough for you? Is it financial? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it physical? Where do you need that breakthrough? What does it look like to have that vision, to have something to walk toward is important. And today I hope we chip away so that you can have a breakthrough in Christmas. You know, Christmas has gotten so incredibly complicated that when we have so much removed from us, it sends us in a bit of a tizzy, a bit of confusion. And sometimes it is an opportunity for us to readjust, realign to what's really important. So I want to talk today about simplicity. What about simplicity in our lives? Because we have a lot of stress, we have a lot of responsibility on us. How can we simplify our lives? So during this season, instead of looking at what we don't have, let's look at what we do have. And that which is no longer there gives us opportunity to clarify what is important, to simplify our lives. I found that that is what I wanted most of all as I have gone through the past 22 years of being single. I wanted a simpler life because when it was simpler, I had more choices in my life. And that gave me a freedom that I wanted. So simplicity can bring with it more choices, less stress. And this opportunity of realignment through this Christmas, perhaps our breakthrough is looking at how can I simplify my life. That includes relationships, that includes stuff, that includes all of our life. How can we make it simpler, less distracting? And as you are trying to create a Christmas this year, perhaps it's one that is going to require more creativity to make it more memorable. I remember, oh goodness, it's been over 25 years ago. My sister gave me this candle for Christmas. Now, what's so amazing about this candle is you had to know my sister. She has since passed, and Christmas was a huge deal to her. She always overbought, overspoiled her family with gifts. I mean, fancy gifts, very fancy gifts. They were crystal. They were items that were figurines that were very, very expensive because she loved the extravagance. But there was one Christmas which she came home after living in Sweden for 8 years, going through a divorce, where she was financially devastated. And she wanted to give something great for Christmas. And all she had was this one little simple candle. I obviously have not burned this candle because the contrast of what it was and the simplicity of what it was made it so remarkably memorable to me. And I store it in a very safe place because it's very precious to me. And it reminds me that out of our rawness and out of our simple gestures of love, we can make more of an impact than all of the fancy and expensive things in the world. That's hard for us to realize, to recognize. And yet, the simpler allows us to focus on the person, the memories, the moment. So this Christmas, you may not have a lot of finances to give that big gift you've given in years past. But if you put thought into it and heart into it, it can mean more than any gift you have ever given. So maybe, just maybe, the simpler can be the better and the most memorable. I know it's difficult with kids, teenagers especially. They have their list. So how do you be creative when you know you don't have the finances to create a Christmas for your children? Perhaps it's having a discussion with them to begin with. And then it's being creative and putting more heart into what we do. Depending on your ages, you can make a big deal out of Christmas. To where you put up a tent in the living room and you eat breakfast underneath the tent and you watch movies on the computer together. So be creative in making a simple Christmas. But if you'll remember, the message of Christmas really is simple. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish, but have everlasting life. If you took this verse and substituted world for your name or your children's name, how might that simple yet profound message mean more to them and to you? Make it a simple Christmas. You may find it was the best Christmas of all.